Good morning, my peoples. I am back with another video today, back in the truck again. Sorry, I figured this is a nice little change from you seeing me in my messy garage. Tried to pick a different background today. I actually parked out front of an IKEA, but you can't tell because it's foggy and I guess the camera just isn't focusing on it. What do I got in store today? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about what I personally wear when riding in the 4 different seasons. And just give you some tips and a little food for thought. And you know, this may be, to some of my friends watching this, you may be like, really? That's so basic, bro. Why are you recording that? But you know, but there may be some people out there, they're newer riders that, you know, hey man, this may be good tips. So let's talk about the 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. I'm going to combine winter, fall, and spring kind of together, and then summer, because it's winter now, fresh in my mind. So when it's fall out, instead of doing it that way, I'm going to talk about it in degrees. What do I wear in different degrees? So the first, we're going to separate this conversation at the 70-degree mark, what it's like when it's 70 degrees out. So we'll talk about north of 70 degrees here in a few minutes. Now we're going to talk about south of 70 degrees. When it is south of 70 degrees, what am I typically wearing? Well, usually when it's like 55 to 70, I'll be either in jeans, boots, sweatshirt, or flannel. And if I'm wearing a flannel, I'm usually at least wearing, you know, some kind of shirt under the flannel. It's not just the flannel. Sweatshirt, you know, it's usually t-shirt, sweatshirt. Always wearing jeans, never wearing shorts. We'll talk about that in a minute. Always wearing jeans, always wearing boots. A lot of people are really adamant about boots being lace-up boots because they're harder to come off your feet. I typically wear, it's like a cowboy style boot. They're my steel toe work boots, you know, like a square nose steel toe work boot that are slip-ons like a cowboy boot. They're fairly tight. A lot of people are, no, you shouldn't wear those. You should always wear a lace-up boot. Why is that? If you get in an accident, the boot can be pulled off during the accident, and that's no good for your skin. I've actually know people that's happened to when your skin actually, maybe we shouldn't go in there. Google degloving. That's the technical term when you are when your skin is degloved. And for that reason right there, people are pretty adamant about lace-up boots, but I'm like, whatever. I love these boots. I wear these boots every day. I'm going to wear them when I ride too. But down to 55, 60 degrees, I'm just really in a sweatshirt, jeans, flannel, always wearing gloves too. I always, in the summer, I'm usually in like a pair of mechanics gloves. In the winter, it's usually a pair of leather gloves, lined leather gloves. I have these black lined leather gloves that I've been wearing for probably 20 years now. The lining's pretty much deteriorated and there's nothing left on the inside. Someday I'll replace them, but man, I just love those gloves. They fit like a glove. But in the summer I wear mechanics gloves because they breathe. They do have protection on the top and leather on the palm. All right, so below 55 degrees. Below 55 degrees, still usually just in jeans. Let's say 55 down to 40 or 45. Still pretty much the exact same setup, except now I'm going to put a jacket over the top of it. I have a jacket I got from Cycle Gear. It's $200. There's a little patch on it that says Street and Steel. It is, there's no hood. It's just like a cuff, like a collar. Not a fold-down collar like this one, but just like a cropped collar. I don't know what you call it. I'm not a fashion person. It does have protection here in the elbows and protection going down the spine. It is a material that's made kind of like of Carhartt. And I would say it's a cross between like a cafe-style jacket and a leather Harley jacket. It's kind of a blend of the two. It does come with a hoodie that can zip in and act as a liner. And it zips in, becomes part of the jacket. A lot of times I'll wear that. The jacket has multiple zippers on it, so it can act as air vents if you don't wear it with the hoodie. But usually, you know, I have the sweatshirt on, just throw the jacket over top of it down to probably about 45 degrees. Once it gets below 45 degrees, I'm still wearing the same stuff, but now I'll put a pair of thermal underwear on. I'll put thermal underwear pants and a thermal underwear shirt, and I'll wear that down to probably from usually about 50 down to about 40 in that degree range. And I'm not talking about like, hey, let's go to Lowe's and go pick up, some bolts, or hey, let's go to the grocery store. I'm talking about, you're out there riding an hour longer, because let's face it, you want to be comfortable to make the ride enjoyable. Now when it gets below 40, thermals kind of, they help, but when it hits like, I guess I'll ride it down to about 35. When it hits freezing, that 40 degrees to freezing down to like 15, then it's all about layers. And I'm layered up like a burrito. And one of the favorite layers that I have discovered a couple of years ago that the stuff is awesome. It's called Freeze Out Gear from Cycle Gear. They have the pants, like the thermal pants. They're $35. The shirt is $39. They have glove liners, which my daughter just got me for Christmas this year, and they're awesome glove liners, and they're like $6. Boot liners for $17. A balaclava, which I don't know if I spelled that or said that right, but actually I just found out last night that Balaclava is actually a city outside of Simferopol in Ukraine, which is where some of my kids are from, where we've gone to Crimea to adopt some of our kids. They're from somewhere, I'm sorry, it's outside of Sevastopol. My fault. My kids are from Simferopol, but this Balaclava is an area outside of Sevastopol. That's where the Russian Navy used to park their boats. Saw quite a few submarines there. It was pretty sweet. And they have a neck warmer also for $13. So their stuff, some of their stuff's cheap, some of their stuff's not. But at this time of year, when you're getting ready to transition from winter to spring, that Street and Steel jacket that I said, that's usually $200. But this time of year, you can get it on sale for $150. The freeze out pants I have, they're usually $35. I bought those 2 years ago. This time of year, they were on sale for $20. It's usually about 50% off. So the shirt you can get for $20, the pants you can get for $15 to $20, the Street and Steel jacket you can get $50 off, get it for like $150. Now is the time to buy your winter gear. Here we are, mid-February. They're going to be putting those items on clearance soon, so go out and look for it. I'll put some links below in the bottom to their stuff, but Freeze Out is awesome, and I rock that from... I've gone out when it's been 15 degrees and ridden for a couple hours in 15 degrees. Now, when it gets in the 20s, also I have the freeze out gear. I'll have my pants on, my jeans on the top. I'll have this white t-shirt, and then I'll put the freeze out on, and then I'll put a t-shirt on, and then I'll put my sweatshirt on, and then I'll put my jacket on. I always make sure I have something around my neck when it's down below 40 degrees, because a really bad spot when you're rolling down the road is having air coming in and going down your shirt, making your chest and your core cold. So you got to block that off. Also a gauntlet glove. When it gets below 40, that goes over your sleeve of your jacket to keep the air from coming up in here. Highly critical also. Above 40 degrees, not as bad. You got your long sleeve t-shirt on, maybe you got your sweatshirt on, that kind of seals this area up for the most part. So when it's above 40, not too bad. But freeze out gear will keep me warm, down into the teens for usually an extended period of time. So highly recommended if you can't afford the electric stuff. And really here in North Carolina, I would only use this summer I might have used it a day or two. That's really it. Because it just wasn't cold enough this winter for it. But the freeze out gear, perfect, man. I remember, and I don't put the freeze out gear on unless it's below 40, because if it's like 50 and I have the freeze out gear, I'm literally sweating as I'm, even doing 80 down the highway, I'm sweating. And that's the other thing too, is if you stop, you probably got to take it off pretty quick because you will be sweating. And it's not like it doesn't breathe. It does breathe. It's just a very good insulator. Highly recommended. Love that stuff. So that's kind of how, based upon the temp range is what I'm going to be wearing. And you know, usually when we start our rides, it's usually in the morning time when it's at its coolest. So as the day progresses, you know, you strip off layers. You can always take layers off. If you didn't got them, you can't put them on, right? All right, let's talk about summer. Summertime, jeans and a t-shirt. Always wear jeans, never wear shorts. Why? Dress for the slide, not for the ride. Not to mention, when you come up to a traffic light and you put your foot down, if you got any kind of cruiser style, you probably have that exhaust pipe going right down the outside and the right, and that is a calf eater. And if you're in shorts, you have no, you know, your raw leg touches that hot pipe, burn just like that. But if you got a pair of jeans on, you at least gotta go, whoa, that was hot. Oh well, good, didn't burn me. You know, never wear shorts. Never wear flip-flops. Again, go back to the degloving comment mentioned earlier. Never wear sandals. Always wear proper shoes. And if you're wearing jeans, you can wear boots. Yes, boots may be hot in the summer, but you know what? I wear these work boots all year long. And I wear them in the summer too for work, and I really don't care, so I'll wear them when I ride also. Occasionally I may be known to wear some Chuck Taylors when riding too. Some people frown on that, saying it's not enough protection, you know, ankle rolls and twists, whatever. Whatever. Just don't wear flip-flops, don't wear sandals, don't be stupid. Don't wear shorts. Bad idea. Again, dress for the slide, not for the ride. Gloves. Well, we'll talk about helmets in a second. Gloves. Those lined gloves, those are my pretty much spring, summer, fall. The lined leather gloves that I've had for like 20 years, those are pretty much my spring, summer, fall gloves. During the heat of summer, during the high point of summer, yeah, I'll wear mechanics gloves instead because they breathe really well. And the other thing about leather is when it rains, as you get caught in the summer rainstorm, they may take days to dry out. Mechanics gloves, no big deal. They dry out in half a day. But those leather ones may take 3 or 4 days to dry out. Helmets. Most of the time in spring, fall, winter, I'll wear either a 3/4 helmet or a full face helmet. In the summer, very often I'm wearing a half helmet. But as I get older and ride more and have more friends who I've seen who have gone down, I'm more inclined to kind of rock a full face year round. Not to mention now I got a Sena on there, which allows me, if I get a phone call, to take a phone call, listen to music in my helmet, which isn't as important when you're on an Ultra, but when I'm on the Fat Boy, yeah, it's kind of nice to have some tunes. So I've ridden 30 years, well, close to 30 years, 28 years without music. It's kind of nice now to have some tunes. You know what I mean? Let's just face it. And definitely you can listen to tunes if you have a bike that has a stereo on it, radio on it, like an Ultra or a touring bike. You know, it's better to have a half helmet so you can listen to your tunes than a 3/4 or full. But if you're not, then I'm rocking the full face helmet. That way I got some music, can take a phone call or have an intercom to talk to a friend. Half gloves. In the summer, a lot of times I'll wear half gloves, like fingerless gloves, mainly because of this thing right here, the touch-tone phone, the touchscreen phones. You know, it's easier to operate GPS when you're at a light, you know, or my wife sends me a text and I just want to type a letter, not while I'm riding, while I'm sitting at a traffic light, okay? I just want to type the letter K for okay and send. Can't do that with gloves with fingers on them. I realize there are some gloves that you can buy that have the fingertips that you can touch, but nah. And I've been known many times to take a glove off, shove it in between my legs, do the thing with my phone, put it back on. You know, you're pulling it to get it back onto your hand as you're rolling down the road. But because of the phone, you know, and GPS primarily, I'll sometimes wear fingerless gloves, but I have yet to find a really good pair of fingerless gloves. The Velcro on them, when it attaches on the fingerless gloves, they usually last a season and they're done. And I like my gloves to last a little while, so I've kind of given up on fingerless gloves because I'm sick of buying them, tired of buying them. So the black leather ones, because they're so old and so worn and so broken in and fit like a glove, they slip on and off real easy, so I can operate my phone with them. And the other thing to think about is, if you are going to go down, what's one of the first things you're going to do? You're probably going to put your hand out to brace on impact, potentially, you know. With a fingerless glove or no glove, again, go back to the degloving comment. But with something that comes up like the mechanics gloves and the Velcro strap that goes across the top, it may buy you, you know, just enough time where it shreds your glove, but you haven't sustained that much damage to your hand if you go down. Where with no gloves on, you ain't got no buffer zone. As soon as that hand hits the ground, it's getting tore up. So gloves at least give you a split second of saving your hands a little bit. You know, I'm not saying it's, you know, you're going to come out like, oh, look, my hands are perfect. The rest of my body's toast, but my hands are perfect. You know, I'm not saying that, but, you know, it may just buy you just a little bit of time. Again, with a full face helmet, how many times have I seen accidents and pictures on Facebook of, you know, right across here on the full face helmet, it is just chewed up and destroyed, but the guy's face is perfectly fine. Now, how I've been rocking a little skid lid or a half helmet, you know, that jaw would be a different story. 3/4 helmet provides a lot of protection, but it doesn't protect this. Doesn't protect this right here. That's still vulnerable. Well, a full face does. And you know, a lot of people that I see in motorcycle clubs, like, I don't want to say like you're a professional motorcycle club, but the guys who are really serious, let's put it that way, in motorcycle clubs, I see a lot of them wearing full faces. Why? Because they ride hard. And when they ride hard, if they go down, they want to protect themselves. So at some point in time, you got to move past the machismo, look at me, I'm on a Harley, I'm a bad mojo, to I want to have my face in my teeth. You know, and there's no shame in that. And yeah, so the older I get, the more I'm like, screw the half helmet. I'm gonna keep going with a full face to protect my face. So I got my jaw, I got, you know, my cheeks stay intact, and I can go home and see my family, Lord forbid, if something happens. So there's some thoughts on gear and riding gear. It's usually about, and it's nothing fancy. Rock what you got, add stuff over time. You know, it's taken me 20 plus years to figure a lot of this stuff out, and my advice is dress, you know, always think about whatever the current temperature is. When you're rolling 70-80 miles an hour, it's going to feel 30 degrees cooler. So dress like it's 30 degrees cooler than what the outside current temperature is. So if it's 70 outside, dress like it's 40 outside. You know what I'm saying? If it's 40 outside, then you need to dress like you be standing outside for an hour in 10 degrees. It's kind of how I view it and kind of how I think about it. So how do you want to bundle up to keep you warm if you're going to be standing still outside for 10 degrees? Because 40 degrees at 70 miles an hour is going to feel like 10 degrees. It's the way it is. So keep that in mind. Little food for thought. Realize this may not be the most popular video in the world, but if it helps somebody, helps a newer rider, then awesome. You know, that's why I'm going to put this out there. Tomorrow I got a really good video planned. Some new cutting technology. It is going to be about the Lifetime oil filter. I had a buddy send me a link yesterday about this company. It's got this new technology for Lifetime oil filters. You know, never buy another oil filter again. This one will last you, guaranteed to last you a lifetime. So today I'm going to do a little bit of research for a few minutes, probably tonight, on it, and bring you that topic tomorrow. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great day. Stay warm, stay dry, and hopefully it stops raining here soon, because I am dying to go for a ride. All right, thank you for joining. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Have a wonderful day. Be blessed, and I'll see you soon. Take care.